Most people have moments of self-doubt.
Don't worry about what other people know or what you don't know.
We all admitted, yeah, I thought they made a mistake. I was sure they're going to find me out.
Very real and very common.
Imposter syndrome is something that you battle with throughout your career. You have to remember that there's a reason you're there. There's a reason that people have confidence that you can do that job. And you have to just look inside yourself and understand what makes you good at it, what makes you valuable, and build on that and know your limitations.
The key is just putting incrementally achievements under your belt, tangible technical achievements under your belt, whether it's working a problem, building something in the lab. Just prove it to yourself that you can do it.
Confidence is not bravado. So confidence doesn't necessarily mean the loudest voice in the room or the first person to answer. I think, again, confidence is knowing the domains of your knowledge and expertise, where you have something to add, where you have the persistence to make your voice heard, even if you are not the loudest voice in the room.
People look for are, your ability to adapt, your ability to take on and grow into new directions, your competency. Just, do you deliver? I think a confident person is much more able to back off of their position and realize that they don't know everything and take into account that other people have good ideas.
One of the most effective ways that STEM professionals can promote themselves is to really get out there and just share their work, present their work with anyone who's willing to listen.
I encourage people to really focus on their science early in their career and become known for some accomplishment. Once you've got that body of work, go out, present, publish, go give talks at universities, get exposure for your idea and get people to see the thought process and what you developed and build on your scientific achievement. That scientific achievement is your base, and then you can build up from that.
One thing we really like to know is, what are your future goals? Long term, are you looking for an R&D career? Are you looking for a faculty position to stay in industry or at the laboratory? Would you like to, at some point in your career, perhaps move into a managerial position? Those are the kind of things we like to know so we can start to tailor your experience early in your career.
Well, I think the most important thing that I want to know from an early career researcher is what motivates them. What is the thing that gives them energy? Because that's what you want to focus on to have a productive and exciting and fulfilling career. And people are motivated by different things.
People really need to think through what success means to them and what are the aspects of it that they're trying to drive towards. Another piece of advice I give is be comfortable with risk. That doesn't mean be foolhardy, but understand no one has all the answers, and so sometimes you've got to put yourself out there.
If they already know what they want to do, that's great. But if not, the flat structure of the national laboratories is a great place for them to really get out there and figure out what they want to do by giving them exposure to certain leadership opportunities, mentorship opportunities, project development. These are all accessible at a really early stage, and so that's really great experience that they can take with them into the next level of their careers.
Looking for the opportunity, having fun, trying to make the best impact you can to the customers or to the mission at hand, all while keeping roughly a 5-year horizon out there. So we kind of have a vision of what kind of job you might want to be in 5 years, and keep that in your head. But then I think it's important to keep your headlights on locally so that you're not missing opportunities.
Networking can take many forms. It could be even online. We have various internal social media platforms, and there's external, of course. I prefer in-person networking myself, but it could be a one-on-one lunch. It could be attending a coffee event where there's going to be 20 people. All of those things are really important. Attending a seminar, attending group meetings, just getting out there, getting yourself in a situation where you can interact with people that are outside your main working group. That's what's really important.
So I push through it. And I know from my personal experience, there's a lot of anxiety. Like, what happens if the person doesn't acknowledge you or you don't get that? Think it through. What's the downside? Let's say you go up to someone and say, hey, how you doing? Can I tell you about my work? And they say, I'd rather not hear about it. You move to the next person. So I think one can overthink it and become very anxious inside. And in fact, I have done that myself. But my suggestion is push through it. And you're going to find out more often than not, 90% of the time, you're going to get a reciprocal response from someone that's going to be, wow, thanks for coming over. I'd like to hear about that.
So at first, when I heard about the term networking was when I first moved to DC to go to graduate school, and I actually did not like the term. I thought it sounded kind of not very genuine. It sounded very transactional, to try to engage with people or develop a relationship based off of wanting something from them, either in the short term or in the long term. So I really didn't like it. After years of being in DC, I just realized that, you have to make networking, you have to make it apply to you in a way that you feel comfortable doing it. So for me, it was just building relationships.
It's that trust relationship, the reciprocity, where you can trust what you're being told and you can also be trusted in giving out advice.
Understanding how to get things done, who to talk to, who could I ask for help, and then keeping those contacts most importantly, because you never know down the road. It's always come up that some years later a question arises, and I think back, I made a contact several years ago that I know could answer this question for me. So it was really important for helping me navigate my career here at Livermore, and I can't emphasize enough how important networking is for a successful career here or anywhere.
I think that if a person has something that's important to them, they should not be afraid to ask. I think the most important thing is to come up with a good, clear justification and do the homework beforehand. And the other important thing is to make sure that new activity that you're trying to go for, that it aligns with the mission.
You really need to get out the ideas that you have. You need to talk about the opportunity, the problems in approaching that opportunity with as many people as possible, because that's really how you grow a solution that will most likely usually be the most effective.
So I think you need to be clear on what exactly you're asking and what is the purpose. Sometimes that's not so clear. So you need to really outline also the pros and the cons. So there could be cons that you're just not thinking of, unintended consequences as well. So you really have to kind of anticipate the rebuttal, anticipate what your leadership might say, their concerns. And once you anticipate that and come up with, kind of answers to their questions, then you can go in being more equipped with addressing those concerns and not looking totally biased towards your own ask.
So you should do some homework before you do those negotiations and communicate those needs. There's a variety of ways to do that. One way is just to sit down and use your own expertise that you know in terms of if it's a technical opportunity, what you think you need to get the job done. But I would also encourage you to reach out to others who have been in similar roles. Going back to your network, use your network that hopefully you've been developing and say, hey, have you had this experience before? What kind of things did you ask for? What do you think I need to be successful in these roles? Because many times you may not fully understand some of the things that you need, but doing that homework is going to be really important for your success and for you making an appropriate ask.
It takes confidence to be able to delegate, and if you delegate to someone and you help them to succeed, that actually reflects very well on you. It helps you retain your sanity because nobody can do it all.
By delegating responsibility and tasks, they're able to show that they're capable of assessing and prioritizing their time, and you have this compounded effect of, combining their own skills with the technical expertise of others who may have done similar work, but at the same time, they're also freeing up their own time so they can contribute more effectively to other projects.
When you think about your career expanding, sometimes delegation has sort of a negative connotation, like you're ordering people around. I think especially in an environment like the laboratory, you want to think of it really as just another form of collaboration. You want to work with a broader set of people who bring different skills together, and collectively you can do much more than if you try to work 22 hours a day and do it all yourself.